LDBC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Okay, folks. I took down the last video because I also, an article resurfaced. Shout out to Cris Cyborg's Twitter account and shout out to Giselle X. Okay. Shout out to Cris Cyborg for really, clearing us up immediately. Okay. Um, folks, in my last video, I was hypothetical in my last video, and I literally said, if this is true, okay? But I also, at the end of the video, the second half of the video, I broke down a segment where I said, listen, the timing, it just seems like the timing is just so impeccable. Because, Cris Cyborg, she just got through talking about herself on Outside the Lines, okay? And guys, I've been telling y'all, and I'm telling y'all now, and I'm going to tell you again, okay? Um, I think that they're trying to literally run Cris Cyborg out of the UFC. Guys, I've been thinking this now for 3 years. I think that they are literally, I think the elites and the higher ups, they're trying to run Cris Cyborg completely out of the UFC. Okay, and then, I started thinking this today, okay? Because, an article was written, and I want to say it was in MMA Fighting, that Ronda Rousey could possibly get the 145 winner of Holly Holm and Jermaine Durandame. And they know that Cyborg can't fight until March, okay? I still stood by that one, okay? Because if your blood is so thick that you can't pull, that they can't even, pull blood out of you because your blood too thick, then it's safe to say that you're sick, okay? Cris Cyborg has been sick, and she said that she was on medical treatment, which it makes sense to me. Because I was wondering, like, I'm looking at the timing, how can she fail a test, man, when she just been overly sick? What is she going to take the steroids to beef up her damn immune system or something? I mean, I don't know. So that's why I was kind of skeptical. I still, though, I am going to be fair on this channel when it comes to this. If Cris Cyborg ever get popped, and I will stand by it, I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to share my disgust. But in this case, I believe everything that Cyborg is saying. Why does she have to lie right now, okay? Because, when she got popped the first time, she admitted it. She was crying, but she admitted it. And this time, Cris said no. And I'm going to read it to you right now, okay? When the UFC brought in USADA to monitor their fighters in and out of competition, it opened up a whole new wave of drug testing failures. Wow. Explain that. Fighters can now be flagged for anything. I think they meant to say from. Can now be flagged for anything from ibuprofen, too much coffee, and it just gets worse from there. In this day and age, a doping violation can literally mean nothing in regards to a fighter's character, which is why it's good to hear from Cris Cyborg. So quickly to let out speculation of a drug test stop before it gets started. I believe her. What I can say now is that they are talking to my doctor, and I'm calm, Cyborg said. Everybody knows I'm sick, which that's true. That I'm recovering from the weight cut I had to do for the fight. What is happening is post-weight cut, okay? Everybody knows I'm sick. They are talking to my doctor to solve this the best way. It's nothing bad. I'm on medical treatment. And yeah, Cris Cyborg been on a host of medications, okay? Because she suffered, she got sick after making her last weight cut. How she still went in there and fought, I don't even know, man. I mean, this girl was fighting, blood was not coagulating, and Cris Cyborg still managed to go in there and win. Now listen, here's my thing. I told y'all. I told y'all this months ago. I've been trying to tell y'all that there's some funny shit. Excuse my language. I try not to cuss. There's some funny stuff going on in the Ultimate Fighting Championships. There's something going on, okay? This woman, and I don't care what you say, I don't care how many people don't like it, they do not want this woman to succeed, okay? And they're trying to do anything they can to get rid of this woman. And I see right through all the smoke and mirrors on what they're doing, okay? Trust me, they're going to find a way to get Cris out of there. They're going to find a way. And they're going to do it because, see, when I think about it, and they start talking about Ronda will get the winner of Holly and Jermaine Durandame, you know how much sense that'll make? Have Ronda go avenge that loss. See, Ronda somehow will probably get by Amanda Nunes. If the fight go to distance, they're not going to give Amanda Nunes a decision against Ronda Rousey. Amanda Nunes is going to have to literally knock out Ronda Rousey, okay? I think Ronda Rousey is going to win the fight. I think either two things going to happen. Ronda is going to legitimately beat Amanda Nunes, or Amanda Nunes may sell out and take a dive. See, these are things that can happen. And don't think that just because this is, mixed martial arts, that people haven't taken dives before. Trust me. In every combat sport, there have been people that take dives. And I'm sure in the UFC and in mixed martial arts, there have been people that took dives before for a high payday. and don't leave it beyond Amanda Nunes to do so. You know what? It could be, guys. It's possible. But if the fight goes the distance, Ronda's going to win. People, that's just the way that is. I don't care how it turns out. Ronda Rousey is going to win if it goes the distance. Okay? And I'm telling you, it's going to set up a big, heavy pay-per-view matchup between Ronda and Holly Holm. Okay? People want to see that matchup again. But people also want to see Ronda fight Cyborg. And didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all earlier that Ronda Rousey is a big girl. And you know what? It's getting harder and harder for Ronda Rousey to make 135. 145 is a comfortable weight. She can make that easy. But they don't want to have to deal with Cyborg. See, her and Holly, they want to fight again. They don't want Cyborg problems. They don't want them problems, y'all. And I'm going to come on here and I'm going to make video after video after video after video until the UFC start doing right by this particular woman, man. She's working her ass off. She's doing everything that she's asked to do, man, within medical reasoning. And this is what they get. And it's funny how the UFC, you know, how they were really quick to report this, man. See, they didn't even, you know what, it gave me the feel that they didn't even talk to Cris Cyborg. Like, they literally, the UFC, hey, you know what, and they're doing the testing for the UFC. The UFC, they could have held this statement. They could have held it in. They didn't have to report this right away until they heard from Cris. See, guys, I want y'all to start thinking about these things, man. Could they have held the statement in until they figured out what it was? Till they figured out that Cris was being treated by her doctor? I believe Cris Cyborg. Team Cyborg. I believe Cris Cyborg. The weight cut is there. It makes sense. Okay, people, how is the UFC going to explain this? I'll tell you how. This woman is bad for business, y'all. Whether you like Cyborg, whether you don't like Cyborg, you need to sit down and listen. Because Cyborg is bad for the business. The wall of shame, the wall of destruction. The wall of destruction. These fighters, they don't want to get on that wall of destruction. They don't want to be on there. Holly Holm don't want to get on that wall. Ronda Rousey don't want to be a victim of the wall of destruction. They don't want that, man. They don't want it. And I'm telling y'all now, and I'm telling you again, this is not the last thing that's going to come up with Cris Cyborg. I guarantee you before the day turns into night, before this year's up, they're going to say something else. And Cris Cyborg is going to be on the hot seat again. I guarantee you they're trying to get rid of this woman. This woman is not going to bow down. This woman is not going to kiss butt. Cris Cyborg is doing her own thing. And that's just the way that is. Cris Cyborg, you keep your head up. You keep fighting. You keep fighting, and eventually what's yours, you're going to get your just due. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.